the Ministry of Health has launched yet another service under universal health coverage. This new service includes conducting pap smears using liquid-based cytology, which will assist in eliminating cervical cancer.
This new method of conducting pap smears is more comfortable and more convenient. So ladies, contact your nearest wellness center to get to know about our pap smear clinics.
Turnaround time for HPV testing is 1 week. Any abnormal or positive test, there'll be a following week for cytology testing. We're also going to test for HPV strains 16 and 18, which are the most aggressive, which cause cervical cancer. We can also test for other STIs, such as herpes simplex type 1 and type 2, gonorrhea, chlamydia, and others.
Patients with an abnormal HPV and an abnormal cytology shall be referred to the colposcopy clinic. At that clinic, we shall assure that you get the proper treatment and guidance.
So come in and access this new service. Your health is our priority.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains, and illnesses? When there's help for you. At Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains, and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems, such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild. The power to heal, the future of pain relief.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay by Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The City opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop opposite the Grosley Bus Stop. Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosley.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluffs. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Another wonderful Friday afternoon to you, everyone. Welcome once again to The Real Issues with me, Shelton Daniel, your host and producer, alongside Alton Jaquan Joseph, our technical operator. It is Friday, the 4th of October, 2024. Our program airs weekdays from 12:30 until 2 p.m. on Real FM radio station, coming to you on the dual frequencies of 91.3 for the North and 91.5 for the South, also simulcasting on NBC Television, channel 120 on the Flow Cable TV service. We are on Facebook Live as well as streaming live on YouTube. I hope that wherever you are, that the transmission, that the reception is good. If it isn't, do as you always do, send us a little message. And many times you say that, you're not getting it, the audio is bad, but you don't indicate whether you're following us on Facebook whether you're following us on the TV or on the radio. Sometimes it really is not a radio problem. You know, where we are in the radio studio, everything's okay. Sometimes, on rare occasions, and that would be more internal, it has to do with conveying it from the radio to the TV for the simulcast. Other times, it's not an NBC Real FM problem. It's a problem that has to do with the cable provider. You know, they may have some issues which causes a little bit of wobble, as I like to say, in the quality of the signal and the service. Other times, it's an internet problem if you're following on Facebook or YouTube or one of them. So we need to know where you're receiving the broadcast, via what means, what medium, whether it is internet, whether it is via air through the radio, whether it is from the TV, so then we can properly investigate whether it is a simulcast problem, you know, that sort of thing. So the information you give, you know, just indicate to us, I'm listening on the radio straight, I'm listening on the TV, so then we can know between point A and point what that we need to check how things are working there. All right, folks, it's so sad to hear when the news rolls in about a 7-year-old getting shot. And at one time I thought it was some little infant or childhood misadventure, but it seemed like shots were fired, you know, at an adult. And you know, a youngster, very young person getting caught in it. And this follows not too long after we had the shooting death in Blanchard, there is so in Miku South, of a 13-year-old named Melchizedek Trixie, or Tixie. And shot inside his own home, we are told, and all indications or suggestions are that the assailant or assailants came looking for somebody else. We don't know whether it was witness elimination, whether it was somebody got startled and, you know, let off a shot. You know, these kinds of things happen, especially when they're in the touch and go world of criminality. You know, criminals who come and then somebody confronts them and they are startled and they let off the shot because they themselves have panicked or because they don't want there to be any witness. But our country, something's got to give. Something has got to be done. I'm not going to repeat myself, but I've said it many times. Criminality, antisocial behavior has to be tackled in all its manifestations, and it has to be tackled when it is in its budding stages. Certain things need to be nipped in the bud. Last night was another example. My goodness me. Police, I've heard enough about all the new vehicles and motorcycles that you've gotten. You should be able to chase down people. I know you won't be able to get all of them, but what is wrong? Why do we have people openly, brazenly, blatantly driving on the roads without their lights? Or they switch off their headlights and they're driving just on their park lights? Or they don't have the headlights, but they have the fog lights. I don't even know if fog lights can be dimmed. I don't know. To me, these are for special occasions. Most people have them there just for decorative purposes. Most people have them there because that's how the vehicle came. People are more and more driving with fog lights, and when they do put on headlights, it's all different kinds of headlights. They're bright. It's a kind of LED blue lights and flashing lights. Police, do something about this now, please. You're supposed to have the equipment now to do something about it. And too much, I mean, I see police sometimes, but a lot of times you just don't see them. You see the patrol vehicles, but we know the areas where the high speed and all these things, you're most likely to find it. Cops, please, do something about this. Mr. New Acting Commissioner, try to make that a priority, please. Please, please, please. Try to make it a priority. The criminal, like so many other people, they never spring full-blown. It's not all at once they just become shooters and snipers and hitmen and so on. Very often, if we're able to... Something okay, Jaquan? No, I saw you looking. Okay. You know, very often, these people have a process where they're blooded into this. Nobody takes a young man who's going off on the wrong road, who's taken the wrong road in life, who's skipping school, playing through and hanging out with the wrong people. Not even the most seasoned gangsters, right from the get-go, give him a gun and tell him, go and shoot somebody. He doesn't know how to handle a gun yet. He probably doesn't have the nerves to do it. It's a process where they gradually blood him into it. They build him into it. They rope him into it. They nurture him into that. It might start with sending him to send a stone in front of somebody's house or do something like that before making him witness other people doing it until they give him the gun. When they consider he's ready, that he won't be totally freaked out at the bang of, his own gun firing and so on. You know what I'm talking about. It's a process of, they build them up into this kind of thing. And that is what I'm saying. The criminals do not right away spring up into being shooters and killers and hardened criminals. Not from the get-go. It hardly ever happens. A lot of them, they don't have the heart, they don't have the nerve, they don't have the practice, they'll panic very easily. So they will take them into it, and more they will get deeper into it. Maybe they'll get sentenced to prison, they'll rub shoulders there and they'll mingle with other hardcore criminals, and so they'll come out of prison worse than how they went in. This is the kind of thing. And that is why I keep making the point. Cops, do something about what's happening on the road. It may well be a training, a proving, an induction point, for criminals and so on, where they're going to get into worse forms of criminality, or maybe they're already criminals and it's expressing itself there. Look for the other non-lethal areas where criminality is expressing itself and begin busting them there. Begin doing something about it. We never know how many accidents on the road are caused by people being disoriented, people being, all kind of ways dazzled and so on, because of all those kinds of crazy things of people without lights, people with fog light, people with all kinds of different lights. Do something about it. It's like the road has just become, a high-speed, chaotic discotheque and with strobe and with flashes and mirror ball and everything like that taking place. And you know what's worse? It was just say little cars and so on that are doing it, but my goodness, last night, some big trucks, big trucks, I don't know what to call them, container trailer, whatever and so on, but the size of those things, people are playing around with lights with those things. When you need to know what vehicle you are there, what is the height, what are the dimensions and so on, you should be able to perceive all of that. There are some people who are driving 25-seaters, the coasters. These things are huge buses. How are you going to tell me you're driving the thing without headlight and it's only pinhole size lights and park lights that you have on it? And I encounter two of them and I tell you the drivers of those things are really pushing them. When I tell you they're driving fast, it was only when the thing was upon me because of the light, because of the speed, that I realized the size of the vehicle. And you tell yourself, why are those guys? Because it's a huge, they have powerful engines on them, these coasters and so on, especially in the flats and so on. These things are powerful and they're heavy and they're huge. You don't need to go to physics class to know about force is equal to the mass or the weight of the vehicle times the velocity or the speed. And you don't need all of that. I'm sure we have an idea. Those big trucks, the way people are driving them, I've often wondered whether the owners of those trucks, in order to avoid paying experienced people, the veterans and so on, they let them go and they take young guys who are only concerned about, the need for speed. Sometimes it's not even to say it's on the main road, they're doing it, the highway and so on. You try to pass. That's why I don't take this route of their phone or whatever to pass and to go to Apiton side. I don't do that anymore, Because I find some guys who have those 25-seaters there. I have friends up at Forestier, Genoa I used to visit. I just stop that. I just stop it because the kind of way I see people with 25. Sometimes I've tried to take the number to say, I will find out who is the owner. Because it can't be the owner driving their vehicle like that. Tell them whoever they have driving that vehicle, they need to take the vehicle from them. The kind of way they push that vehicle on those roads. You tell yourself, to me, that road does not have the capacity to sustain that kind of speed for that size of vehicle. But it's like they don't care, they're not thinking, most likely because they know almost all the vehicles that they will encounter on the road are vehicles that are relatively small and puny and whatever compared with them. That if they knock it, is the other person who's going to get the worst of it. I don't know. Any accident is an accident. It is crazy. What is happening? We need to check. It's not just the fact of the speed, but the kind of roads where that kind of speed is being undertaken, the size and the weight of those vehicles and so on. It has to lead to a catastrophe should anything go wrong. Where are the police and all those bikes and vehicles and so on we are told that they were getting? I just find the presence isn't what you expect it to have been. But anyway, let me leave that alone. Talking about Forestier. There's a former minister who's from Forestier, I think, who's of Indian ethnicity, at least partly, I think. But none of that has to do with the kind of behavior, the fact that he's from Forestier, the fact that he's of Indian ethnicity. I saw an interview being done with Choice TV, and although the reporter, the interviewer, was mostly out of the frame, I said to myself, to me, Mr. Guy Joseph must have agreed to grant that interview to Jason Sifley. He must have agreed. There are people, even in the midst of when it is a group interview, meaning there are several reporters, Mr. Joseph has openly said he's not talking to them, he's not answering the questions. Mr. Joseph openly refused to take any questions from Janika Simon. And I mean, if you say in the case of Miguel, you're not talking to ex-convicts or people who have been, who have criminal record and this kind of thing, I don't think you can say the same of Janika Simon. Both you and Mr. Alan Shastney have tried to embarrass Janika. Question is asked in a group setting of several reporters from different media houses. Shastney listens patiently, it would seem, to Janika's question, then just ignores her. Next question or next person, please. The kind of thing Donald Trump was doing to everybody at the White House, especially when they ask him a question that he cannot deal with. He cannot answer. He doesn't have the information. The thing is to belittle the reporter. I think you're a terrible person. I think you're a horrible fake news, because Donald Trump has no upstairs for a particular thing. In the case of St. Lucia, I don't think it's a matter of upstairs. I think it's a matter of spite. I mean, Mr. Joseph has said openly to Miguel, I'm not talking to criminals or ex-convicts or people with criminal record. But then I saw that thing and I'm saying, okay, Jason Sifley cannot be talking to you on the sidelines of that UWP meeting, it would seem to me, on William Peter Boulevard on the 22nd, Sunday 22nd of September, unless you agreed to the interview. You would have told him the same thing, whatever you want, I'm not talking to Choice, I'm not talking to you. Guy Joseph, on the evidence of it, must have consented to the interview. But it's like from start to finish, there is a hostility towards Jason Sifley, like it's attack. The man is on an attack thing, even to the point where Jason asked about the evidence that they were supposed to get from Martinez. And Guy Joseph, it's like, he never said he's giving us evidence. He told us, come and see the evidence. What he going to give his thing for? For people like you to do foolishness with it? Really, Mr. Joseph? You don't think Philip Martinez knew what he was doing and what he was giving away when he was engaging in highly prejudicial interviews with Lisa Joseph on DBS, talking a whole lot about the lawsuit he's going to bring and people who will have sleepless nights and the people he has now and those he will add to the lawsuit, endless grandstanding and showboating about his lawsuit instead of just waiting for his day in court and presenting his case. But be that as it may, do you really think we have forgotten all that was said about the travel to Washington to see what Martinez, that your own political leader said he expected after he came back that they would give him this? So many of us said, okay, you went up there. Where was it? All it took was a simple thumb drive. All it took was a photocopier. Mr. Alan Shastney gave the distinct impression that there were things that were going to be sent to him. But regardless of all of this, I'm not splitting hairs over that and getting into the nitty-gritty of whether they were supposed to get some folders or some files or some thumb drives or or some FTP upload or so on. It's the hostility in that interview that, like I said, the gentleman granted. And I don't know, I hold no brief for Jason Sifley or for anybody else. But I'm saying for someone who has held ministerial office, and by all indications is looking very seriously and working very hard to regain ministerial office, whether Jason Sifley or so on, this kind of hostility to an interview that, like I said, you must have agreed to, just the same way like when you were having the pre-parliamentary or pre-cabinet briefings and reporters came there, you would have known that Miguel and Janika and so on, that they are among the pool of people who are likely to be there. They show up there. They have their legitimacy to be there as employees of the respective media houses at the time and so on. You know, if you didn't want them there, maybe some kind of communication to the media house that this person is vexatious, this person is whatever, and we do not want them or we are not accrediting them anymore to come. You wait until they come to try to embarrass them. And that's what I find in St. Lucia, too much of this petty, childish, infantile, puerile game of embarrassment politics. There doesn't seem to be substance politics. The politics of what are the issues, dissecting the policies, dissecting this and that, is always SAFR hot. SAFR, this is the kind of thing I find. So, Japan, let's roll that for people to see what I'm talking about. Yeah.
We never brought Lescan into St.
Why do you
Lucia.
think?
Don't try to put the blame where the blame should not be. Lescan cannot issue one passport. Okay? It's only the minister of CIP that can sign the documents for the issuance of CIP passports. So for Lescan to be corrupt, he had to be facilitated by the government.
Confronted with the fact that it was the United Workers' Party who opened the door for Caribbean Galaxy to enter St. Lucia, Guy Joseph was provoked to make some distinctions.
Lescan was the CEO of St. Kitts CIP. Isn't that a fact?
That is a fact.
Okay. So when we brought Galaxy, when Galaxy came to St. Lucia to execute a project, Lescan was not the CEO of Galaxy. We never negotiated with Lescan. We never had any interaction with Lescan about the project in St. Lucia.
The UWP deputy leader argued that as far as he's concerned, the math just doesn't add up.
We gave 700 files for a value of $210 million for the CIP project in Canals. Galaxy themselves, they were supposed to raise the other $90 million to make the $300 million of the project. Now, if you want to challenge me, here's what I expect you to tell me. You said you are a journalist. Tell me, how did they get the 6,000 files for the same project when the price did not change?
However, Caribbean Galaxy was already deeply involved in the Estridge prison project and mired in controversy about the difference between money raised by CIP sales and money spent on projects.
But the prison project was not filled in St. Kitts yet.
Could we not tell that there was something wrong with this people before?
How we could tell? 3 years ago we could tell. You know when they could tell? They could have told before they gave him the 6,000. That is when they knew. Because by then, the project had failed. But the project had not failed in 2021. And the records in St. Kitts will show you that the project had not failed then.
Joseph also seemed to think that some in the media are covering for the ruling party's government when it comes to citizenship by investment, when they note that it was UWP who brought Caribbean Galaxy to St. Lucia.
This cover-up for government by so-called journalists, I have no time for that. If you want to speak to me, come and speak facts. because I can back up what I'm telling you there.
In a court of law, credibility matters, and when it comes to Felipe Martinez, there are mountains of facts in his own life that attack his credibility. Why does the United Workers' Party discount Martinez's credibility issues when his accusations seem to do harm to the entire country without discrimination?
Nobody owes you information other than your government. Martinez said, come and see what I have. Martinez never said, I'm going to give you my information. The man has his information to file his case and to put his thing together. You want him to give you the information for people like you to do nonsense with it and to try. First thing y'all jump on, Martinez corrupt, he this, he that. That's what was being reported in St. Lucia.
Citizenship by investment is the most powerful new economic sector in the region. It can bring in hundreds of millions, even billions of dollars with very little money spent up front. However, as things currently stand, CIP is more valuable as a political football than as an apolitical revenue earner like tourism or agriculture. For Choice News Now.
You know, like I said, I'm not about to make any value judgments about... But, you know, am I the only one who discerned the tone of anger in that kind of thing? It's like the reporter is not questions, he's being attacked. He's being challenged. He's being dead. About Martinez will give you information for you to do nonsense with it. Why was he giving information to Lisa Joseph? Was it for her to do nonsense with it? Or is it that Lisa is deemed to be of a different caliber and quality and whatever, so that she would not do nonsense with it, but Jason Sifley would do nonsense with it and so on? And this whole matter about Martinez having a criminal record, it's a matter of record. It's there. And your record determines your credibility. This guy is an ex-convict. This guy is an ex-prisoner. This guy has been jailed for things such as fraud and so on. And this is the question. Martinez is claiming that it is because Caribbean Galaxy and Les Can were given so many CIP shares or files that they were able to undersell him so that he couldn't sell his shares or files. The other side of the story is that people, when they look into Martinez's background, they didn't want anything to do with it. They figured the guy will scam them, the guy will con them. So they just didn't want anything. That's the other side of the story. It may or may not be true that Martinez is looking for a scapegoat when the real flaw, the real problem, the real culprit has to do with his own character. It has to do with his own history. It has to do with his own record. And this was the question, you know, how do such people seem to be hand in glove with the United Workers' Party? That the United Workers' Party seems to be speaking for them. That they seem to be coming to their defense. If the whole Galaxy scheme and Les Can and so on, now Mr. Joseph is making a distinction between we brought Galaxy, then quickly corrects himself, we didn't bring Galaxy, Galaxy came. I don't know how an investor of that import, of that magnitude, of that size, of that outlay could have come to St. Lucia unless they were brought to St. Lucia, aka welcomed, negotiated and so on, arranged, facilitated to be in St. Lucia. They cannot just come and set up shop here, Mr. Guy Joseph. They cannot. Maybe you were not part of the actual official ceremony where they were welcomed, where they were given rousing commendations and so on. Your Prime Minister, the Prime Minister of the clusters and so on, the Prime Minister of everything, of finance, along with the Commerce Minister, Mr. Bradley and so on. They talked them up. They said so many great things about them. You mean to tell me everything was wonderful about them and you're going to make us believe that the only fly in the ointment, the only flaw, the only pimple on the face of Galaxy was Les Can? Les Can couldn't have come to work in St. Lucia, you know. If the government of St. Lucia had said to Galaxy they take exception to him, Les Can couldn't have functioned in St. Lucia unless he was permitted, you know. He had to have some kind of approval from the government of St. Lucia. Whether it is from work permit point of view, whatever it is. In any case, I don't think you, or like anyone else, would want, unless it is absolutely necessary, to dictate to any company, local or foreign, investor or whatever, to tell them that their employment, or to dictate to them, you know, their employment practices, that you cannot employ this person, you cannot employ that person. Now it is convenient. You're trying to make it not a Galaxy problem, but a Lescan problem. Lescan can't function within Galaxy unless he is acting in accordance with Galaxy's policies. Employment policies, operational policies, you name it. He has to function according to it. He has to execute their plan for them. Making it a Lescan issue don't change the fact that Galaxy, the company that subsequently employed Lescan as its CEO, is in St. Lucia as a result of being welcomed, accepted, facilitated, recommended and talked up by the United Workers' Party administration, of which you were a very senior member, Minister of Economic Development. Galaxy is in St. Lucia at the instance, at the behest of the United Workers' Party. The Labour Party failed to continue with it. But again, I have to say, I did that interview, and I said, but why bother to give a guy an interview like that unless the purpose of the interview was to sock it to him, I'm going to show you, that I can smack you in the eye during an interview, and it's not you asking me the questions. At one point, the man is actually telling, I know what next you're going to tell me. Come on, really? For real? I mean, when did Donald Trump become so thoroughly and totally, if albeit crudely, ungainly, transplanted into St. Lucia? And are we on the cusp of that once again? In the last cycle in 2016, the UWP, led by Alan Chastney, co-led by Guy Joseph, came to office a couple months, 3 months or whatever, before Donald Trump. This time it looks, if Donald Trump wins, he's going to come to office. It will be he preparing the way for them. If he's not even there yet and we've seen that kind of arrogance and so on, I wonder what would happen should he actually win. You know my thoughts about Donald Trump. And one of them is that if he wins, he's going to give too much wind to the sails of some people over here. And I, of course, make no secret that I won't want to see that happen. This is the real issues. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll play a couple of video clips about housing, the Rock Hall housing development, which work is now underway. We'll play some video clips, some pictures, and maybe some renderings of it as well. Shouldn't take very long, and then the phone lines will be open.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
The Ministry of Health has launched yet another service under universal health coverage. This new service includes conducting pap smears using liquid-based cytology, which will assist in eliminating cervical cancer.
This new method of conducting pap smears is more comfortable and more convenient. So ladies, contact your nearest wellness center to get to know about our pap smear clinics.
Turnaround time for HPV testing is 1 week. Any abnormal or positive test, there'll be a following week for cytology testing. We're also going to test for HPV strains 16 and 18, which are the most aggressive, which cause cervical cancer. We can also test for other STIs, such as herpes simplex type 1 and type 2, gonorrhea, chlamydia, and others.
Patients with an abnormal HPV and an abnormal cytology shall be referred to the colposcopy clinic. At that clinic, we shall assure that you get the proper treatment and guidance.
So come in and access this new service. Your health is our priority.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains, and illnesses? When there's help for you. At Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains, and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems, such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild. The power to heal, the future of pain relief.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with the real issues. And we are learning or hearing that a police officer was injured this morning near Karef, Moshi, after his police motorcycle collided with a car. And the bike, we are told, landed in a deep gully near the side of the road. The officer was thankfully conscious and was attended to by EMS, Emergency Medical Services, and other police officers. So we want to wish the very best for that police officer doing motorcycle duty or patrol, and hope that his condition is not one that is at all serious, and he will make a speedy and complete recovery. Unfortunate, but these things happen. All right. So, Rockall Housing Project has begun, and it is described as a life-changing housing project that is coming to the Rockall community. The parliamentary representative for Castries East and the Prime Minister of St. Lucia, Honorable Philip J. Pierre, is the only Prime Minister to use CIP funds, all right, to change the lives of our people, to ensure they have a better standard of living. And so what we will about to flash on the screen and scroll across includes one resident describing how he feels about this transformation. Roll it, Jaquan.
Oh, I love that. I love that. That's a good plan. That's a good move by the government of Mr. Pierre. I like that. You know, he brought that scheme in Rockall. Really needed it, and then really needed the change and those kind of stuff, because really haven't had any change in Rockall apart from the Rockall school and the court we have there. That just it, you know. So the change in Rockall, I would really love that. I see Mr. Pierre is trying. That's his first time being a Prime Minister. He's trying a lot and he's doing his best. We just have to give him a chance to just see what he's about and see what he's going to do for St. Lucia.
All right, folks, so this is the situation we had heard before about the Talvan housing project as well. And I think that also, if I remember correctly, will also benefit from financing from St. Lucia's Citizenship by Investment Program. So to those who are trying to talk down and badmouth the CIP and all that sort of thing, look at what the CIP is accomplishing for St. Lucians, something so badly needed as affordable housing on a large scale. I'm sure it will not meet every single need, but at least you see the commitment to do something about it. And it began with the Housing Assistance Program, helping people who have rundown, dilapidated houses to repair them, those who have no houses to build a small house for them so that they're not sleeping outside where rain wetting them in the night. A lot of them people who are already not in good health, who don't have any great means about them. Now to build the condominium or apartment style houses, you know, expanding the CDC concept that has made a difference for so many people in Castries, but taking it to other areas, take it to Babono, take it to, Rock Hall and to other places and so on. This is the kind of thing that we want to see in the country. Steps being taken, things being done. Not people who don't have a clue, who don't do anything, but all they want to do is to diss and downplay and talk down and poo-poo and criticize and be on the sidelines sniping at everything that is being done. But when did they ask them, what did they do? Oh, we had plans and we had a groundbreaking. And nobody talking about groundbreaking. Nobody talking about Kaika Fet. Nobody talking about changer la vie moun in direct, measurable, tangible, empirical ways and so on. Discernible ways. That's what we want. Too much of this thing. Oh, we were going to do this and we had plans and the plans were very advanced and this thing was in the pipeline already. Top in the pipeline. Top plans. Stop pending. Stop coming and do. Get it done and so on. And maybe I'm beginning to understand why this hatred of Richard Frederick. Because as housing minister and as minister of anything that he has responsibility, he moves forward in positive, decisive, effective ways that makes things manifest. Whether it is Serenity Park there, whether it is things for the vendors over there, whatever it is, whether it is a new head office or headquarters space for national housing and so on, he's very decisive. He moves and he gets things done. And you see this housing, it's in the Prime Minister's constituency, but Richard Frederick as housing minister is going to play a key role. He'll be the main driver in terms of seeing that it is implemented. And that's what I realized. They do not like implementers and people who do things because it shows them up. It shows them up. It shows the talker who always has great plans and all kind of pie in the sky things and hops on a plane at 6 in the morning to go to Dubai, and by the next morning he's in New York and then he's in Miami and he comes back to St. Lucia, and before anything he's headed back to Toronto and this and on and on and on it goes. But you ain't seeing what we're getting for all these kinds of travels and all those things, Richard Frederick went to Rwanda or wherever it was, and he went to Poland and so on at the invitation, and he was in South America so that he could have examined various, public housing models and affordable housing, that the state can undertake on behalf of the people. And he has come back with a mind to get certain things done. And we're seeing things moving, and we're seeing things done. All the dissing about the CIP and the 1.4 billion that was supposedly missing. Well, already 15 million or whatever gone to the hospital. Responsiveness. A lot of people may have wanted to fight with Dr. Merle Clark and Medical and Dental Association, whatever. Prime Minister said, no, let's talk to them. Let's find out what the issues. Okay, you've identified the issues, you've talked. In the first instance, 11, 15 million, we're going to get it from the CIP to give you to deal with it. Have you heard quarrel? You'll hear again, because this is an ongoing thing. The dynamism of challenges and issues and so on, especially in the public sector and so on, it's a never-ending thing. Of course, they'll come again where people will begin to gonde and bugone. Of course, you're going to get it. You respond to it. You deal with it. And that is what is happening, dealing with things without injuring people, without firing people at low pay and so on, home care givers, and firing people, all kinds of vindictiveness and marginalizing whole constituencies, not giving them funds which have been agreed to through due process of the parliament and have been incorporated into the policies of government and so on. You're going to give to 11 and you're going to say to 6, not a peco. This is a kind of pettiness that has gone up to the highest levels of government. So when you have people who are surrogates, communications or PR or whatever kind of surrogates they call themselves, behaving the kind of way they are behaving, it's in a way a kind of a flip side manifestation of what Jesus Christ said to his disciples before his death, Do not be surprised. A slave is not greater than his master. If they have hated me, they will hate you also. Likewise, slaves are not better. I'll change the word slightly, not greater. Slaves are not better than their master. If the master functions at that level of pettiness, you can expect the slaves, the surrogates, to be really, really savage, vicious, and so on in the kind of things they do. They're doing the bidding of the master, who does not seem to know any other politics than embarrassment politics and shame you kind of politics. And that's the only thing he knows. Not any kind of alternative to say, instead of doing this, this is what I would do, and this is how I would do it, this is that I plan. Is always trying to diss and to see if you can discredit and defame and malign people and so on. That's all. To make people believe that Richard Frederick, the land could have sold for 3.5, he sold it for 2.7. So he did some kind of, bobble, some kind of underhandedness with $800,000. How does one steal $800,000 on the sale of public land, of state land, of government land? How do you do that? How does a person steal or hide $1.4 billion, in money from the citizenship by investment program? There's a reason why government moves so slowly, There's a reason why things have so much bureaucracy in it. It's because of all the different checks and counter checks and scrutiny, and it goes into the independent. That person has to go and see whether this matches with that over there, with this bank account and all this kind of thing. For bubble to take place there, it has to involve collusion by such a vast amount and diversity of people. They have to be really well of one mind, coordinated and agreed that they're going to do it. Not easy. All these different things about the accountant and the permanent secretary and the principal assistant secretary, and it has to go to the director of finance, all these things. They're intended to achieve, they frustrate you when you're waiting for a check or so on. But they're intended to ensure the separation between the functionary and the gatekeeper. They're intended to ensure the checks and balances. They're intended to ensure, that the very person who is issuing is not the same person who is verifying. That's what it's meant to ensure. The separation, the disjointedness. It almost seems chaotic at one point. But that is why it is there in place. And that is why, particularly under certain government, you don't hear this skullduggery even being alleged, much less, being credibly accused or so on. You don't hear it. Because they see to it that the system works the way it is supposed to. I mean, not everything is perfect. Anyway, folks, I said I was going to open the phone lines, and I'll be true to my word. 487-9849. That is the mobile number. 758-487-9849. You can WhatsApp call on that number. And also, the landline, 4533-911. Local landline number, 4533-911. And the WhatsApp line, 487-9849. All right? Now, I intend to say hello today to the people in the Real Issues WhatsApp group. Let me tell you, folks, I continue to believe in you. I continue to believe in the level and the quality of discussion that you all are generating. And I have to say, I see maturity rapidly expanding and taking hold in that group and so on. And I'm very appreciative of you. And things are getting better. Little blips and, little imperfections and so on will arise, but I expect that. But what I can see is the trajectory of evolution, of improvement, of growth, of maturity and so on. And I'm happy to be in your midst. Thank you very much for that, and keep it coming. We have a caller on the line. Hi, caller. Good afternoon. Real Issues.
Yes, and how do you do, sir?
Hey, I'm doing okay. How about you?
I'm good. Honestly, these flambos are angry because they see really our backs are not against the wall. We are stuck to the wall. We are drilled to the wall. There is no way out for us. And I'm happy things are happening. We have a good captain who is doing a good job. And why they keep talking about the CIP money is because they are angry. They are not the one managing it. Moi-même, guy. Monsieur Daniel, moi, il y a une question, maman. Est-ce que c'est Guy Joseph?
Ada vidéo clip là, moi joué là?
Oui.
Mais véritablement c'est lui.
Il y a un vieux mongrel qui est comme un petit. Moi-même, juste, moi, qui m'a dit l'État ça?
L'âge qu'a monté en l'air nous toutes.
Hello. Dis-moi yon bagay. L'âge qu'a monté en l'air nous toutes. Mais quand l'État gagne.
Ou pas mes vieux, moi vieilli, pour dernière fois, vous honnêtement. Regardez mes vieux, moi vieilli. Gardez-moi,
mais gars ça occupé quoi?
Gardez-moi me plisser. Gardez-moi me plisser avec Wedi tout bas,
non mais gars a de mauvais état et ça qui a really choc c'est vrai gars. Toutes ces affaires millions ça la gars attend gars pas participer. Ça qui a fait me fâcher chaque le PJP aller à the house là qui a commencé par la boîte combien millions a dit chaque PJP qui va bien ça. C'est figure ça gars pas aimer traîner. Oui, parce que guy has been angry since he's been in opposition. And with the reporter coming to him, that got him more angry. Like he wasn't ready for that. Why are you coming to bother me? You know, I'm not in the driver's seat. Mais moi content pour boire café. Je sais ici, à nous pas faire pas je sais ici, labor supporters. Let's not make trouble with each other. That's all they want to happen to us. We smarter than that. Let's not do that. And let's just support our PM and our ministers. We will be fine. Have a good day, people. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy Monday holiday as well.
Thank you very much, my friend. Same to you, all right? Take care of yourself. We just heard from Maria Bonaparte, St. Lucian resident working in Canada. Let me say good afternoon to Eusebia Jean-Baptiste. Good afternoon. She says good day to all the beautiful fans out here on the real issues. Good afternoon to our host. Thank you very much, my friend. Miguel Fevrier, who says that she is his cousin. Yes, he's told me that before. Says good afternoon as well, and we say good afternoon to him. And Sava Christians, I don't know why you have that name, you know. She says, bon après-midi, Shelton Daniel, avec tout le monde. Bon après-midi pour vous. And Sava. Mary J. Smith says, some of those officers are too lazy and don't care, only for a paycheck. That they only exist for it. I don't know, I can't really say what it is, but I just find the police presence that I see about the place in areas that you'd expect them to, especially when it comes to the chaos in the traffic. And some things have changed. You've heard me saying that I see far fewer of what I have described as those show-off bikers, you know, on the road. There seem to be far fewer of them, but somebody said it's the insurance situation that has really had them like that. We're still taking your calls, okay? It's 487-9849 and 4533911. Mahoney Oje says, why are we still dwelling on this issue? Malpinez has made his intention clear, and Chasney has already said to hell with Martinez. Zot Pakatan, we have a call on the line. Good afternoon. Thank you, Mahoney.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, good afternoon to you.
Okay.
Well, nous en octobre.
Oui, because moi ça parle pas toi bien entendu.
Moi de 8 âge créole.
OK, bon. L'année yon ministre qui en Labour Party, right? OK? Il pas brisé campagne encore. Ngaïdou qui laisse moun. Anti moi soufouye.
Emma,
il pas brisé campagne encore. Ça yon madame qui has still laisse encore. Et moi ça from good grounds because moi hier des soufouye que moi ka parler ba moun. Anti pas brisé campagne encore.
Attention, nous conseil pour Bayanti. Bayanti on dit faut un conseil à fait pas campagne. Actuellement ça pour campagne. Campagne plus red campagne après dit la vie garder pendant les campagnes après des campagnes qui aller out of style. Autant ça moi là.
Eh ben nous pas besoin ça yo shit nous pas besoin garder pour en l'autre côté. Si ça racine.
All right. Eh ben sous harasser campagne over campagne. Pas bail pièce qualité slack off. Eh ben rien comme ça.
Ça yon mwen hasi dans lay.
OK.
Ça yon mwen hane. Ma brisé aller pièce côté ay parler encore ça. Il côté ça relax quoi. OK?
OK. All right. Merci un peu.
OK, bien.
All right. We have another call on the line. Good afternoon, Real Issues.
Good afternoon, Shelton. Bon après-midi pour toutes les membres Real Issues. Shelton, moi, pas, moi, je d'accord avec vous, on prend statement on fait à mon chat là. Je d'accord avec vous, avec moi, qu'on nous a développé, tout principe est développé, Excel nous tout est développé, par ça, nous a matché. Bon, un plus loin, Shelton. Jour après jour, nous avons comprendre pour qui chasser, toujours enragé, toujours fâché. Tout le temps chasse n'était là, est-ce que nous jamais un statement côté des soucis IP dépensés? Chasse n'est quitté office. D'accord?
No, okay, go ahead.
Chasse n'est quitté office. Juste toujours qu'on dit si couillé. Chasse n'est pas comme ça et pour y a question à ce manière il servit l'argent pays. Bon, après ça, il est obligé de faire le fouet. Parce que Philippe J. Pierre, qui a fait bagaille avec qui a fait savent que ça c'est l'argent CIP qui a servi. So si en 3 années, Philippe J. Pierre a servi quand de l'argent pour CIP, il est nécessaire à présent ça là. Pour nous, prêcher à commencer à tomber à l'enchassement. Pour bailler cette lycéen, yon account à ce côté l'agent CIP, paternité premier ministre. Avec prêcher à vous commencez à descendre, puisque l'autre bagaille là, moi, je vais regarder. Moi, je voulais explorer un bagaille là, Shelton. C'est pas tout bagaille pour nous quitter les comptes gouvernement, et bien, des pipis ça y est. Là, si vous êtes en position, côté que, si un citoyen pays, pas prêt avec une situation, là, ni supposé ni côté, où ça, launch un appel. Pour faire mon ou faire appel à la venir nous avec expliquer by pays. Manière, il y a conduit, et qui ça, il fait avec la CIP. Question c'est là, ni pour commencer à demander, aujourd'hui, il attend nous une réponse.
Et bandou bay. C'est pas CIP tout seul au savent. Là non l'autre bay qui ni CIP en dans mais il pas ni I. Ça là yo CDP, Constituency Development Program. Là ni pour ni manière pour moun ni pour venir répondre et puis dire expressement pour qui ça. Yo pas la pas dessous, yo pas quitter pas même un sac ciment pété en 6 constituency qui était représenté par opposition à les yo te en dans gouvernement. Qui ça qui ba yo droit pour faire certains moun en passant ici faire yo méchanceté, faire yo souffert, faire yo passer temps qui en difficulté pour l'argent qui pas l'argent yo ça c'est l'argent trésor pays empêcher ces places ça et puis ces places là c'est Castries East, Castries South, Denry North, Viewfort North, Viewfort South et puis Laboui. Yo ni pour expliquer ban nous en dedans parlement et bien l'autre côté me passe commission of inquiry pour dire nous pour qui ça yo fait qualité méchanceté et puis à ce qui l'autorité yo fait. Est-ce que vous d'accord avec moi?
C'est pas si moi d'accord avec tout ça, Shelton. Pas deux temps yo de faire ça. Y a ministre pour l'argent taïwanese là pour bailler madame ni pour ouvrir l'école. Pas tant yo de néglecter. C'est constituency celle-là. So on va ni pour faire avec nous ni pour commencer. Mais comme nous ni pour commencer à besoin pour commencer à courir en les chasser pour bailler un compte pour ces principes là. Shelton, merci un peu avec ma wish à tous ces membres dans le groupe là. Bonne journée et qu'on holiday à venir, bonne holiday pour les tous. On continue la discussion.
Merci un peu. All right, a very caring person, a very motherly concern says to me, please don't take offense, but I notice your lips are dry. Perhaps you're not drinking enough water. If you're properly hydrated, then I recommend you use a little petroleum jelly on your lips. I would tell my son the same thing. I appreciate you as my own. Thank you so very much, mother. And she adds, you're doing a great job. Keep it up. All right. Thank you so very much for that. I normally try to drink a lot of water. And So we're due for a break soon. As soon as we do, I can assure you one thing I'll be doing is head out to the drinks cooler, to the fountain, and I will down some. We have another caller on the line. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, hi.
Yes.
Hey, forward là, c'est où qui là?
Oui, forward là qui là après papa bon Dieu.
Ok, alright, ok.
Moi qui là.
Qui nouvelle ou hodia?
Dans sommeil.
Qui nouvelle ou hodia?
Moi là, moi pas ça après papa bon Dieu.
Ok.
Moi là, pas trop bas.
Ok.
Moi là, moi ne me longer encore plus long. Parce que jamais été, moi une grande daughter, moi. Moi, fin de nos messieurs, moi, ça dans sommeil, quand on gratulate Emma, Jean-Baptiste.
Ok.
Emma, c'est tiche, moi.
Ok.
Lui qui a occupé, Emma, c'est tiche, moi. Et Emma, pour ça, à côté de grand-maman, il faut avoir là. Ah, moi, il
Forward là, ça, c'est la première fois que je attends ça, que vous êtes grand-maman Emma?
Moi, c'est grand-maman Emma. Ma qui veut me monter au studio, là, je vais monter qui paye, moi, faire toute bagaille.
Ok.
Moi, c'est grand-maman Emma, moi, tant de complimentation, ça, là. Monsieur, avec Emma, monsieur, il dit ça, là, grand-maman, Juliana Pascal, là. Forward, là. Il y a un petit flux, ça, tout, ça, c'est commencement, Mélanie pli. Mais si moi t'es là, peut-être que tu vas couvrir moi t'es bien à l'air. Question à répondre. Moi t'es bien couvert. Mais moi content tellement. Ne me longe encore plus long. Emma, tu le pied quoi maman? Quoi douva on y va aller au pas qu'à aider. C'est Shelton Daniel. Ça c'est de vous connaître Emma. Et de grand-maman Ingila.
Ok, Mathis ça.
Grand-maman. Et maman, moi, la même maman. Comme moi, je lève Emma.
Ok. Mathis ça forward là. So, émission. Émission.
Daniel, tout le monde qui attend. Moi, je lève.
Ok.
Yes, il s'appelle moi.
Ok.
Moi, moi. Madame, petite fille, il caille devant. C'est forward qui a les pages, je me dis d'accord.
Ok, d'accord.
Brave as a lion, gentle as a lamb.
Ok. Est-ce qu'il y a rien encore ouvrir dire nous?
Moi, avant qui ça a fait, moi, je suis dans son bail, même une vague. Tout ça là qui était à la politique, ça qui a parlé là, l'argent dépensé, l'argent fait. L'argent avec nous va dans juste nous jouons $200 moi dit il a brûlé moi parce que l'hôpital à un pour moi aller moi travaille où toi ouais tête moi faut moi qu'a touché tête moi lever mais jamais oublié la mission de passer il dit madame là c'est de baba douter a fini
OK
moi lever qu'a touché ciel et faut moi qu'a touché tête enfin maman enfin
OK.
Moi, content comme moi, M. Shelton Daniel, notre voyage là, moi, faire l'autre pays. Monter les airs. Maman, je dois marcher des pieds, maman. Emma, keep on. Yes. Notre voyage, moi, monter les airs. C'est un nuage là.
OK.
Ma éducation m'a parlé anglais, ma nièce a fini bien, elle est bonne cervelle.
OK. Merci un peu le forward là et puis passez un bon restant journée vendredi et puis
merci beaucoup.
Et puis week-end là aussi qu'on savent. Lundi c'est un holiday au savent. On chaque monde qui regarder qui mode ça des ennuis quoi yo poser quoi yo jouir la vie oui. Merci un peu. Nous allons parler dans l'autre temps.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much.
All right. Jaquan, if we have no one on the line presently, let's take the break, and when we come back, we'll deal with more calls.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
the Ministry of Health has launched yet another service under universal health coverage. This new service includes conducting pap smears using liquid-based cytology, which will assist in eliminating cervical cancer.
This new method of conducting pap smears is more comfortable and more convenient. So ladies, contact your nearest wellness center to get to know about our pap smear clinics.
Turnaround time for HPV testing is 1 week. Any abnormal or positive test, there'll be a following week for cytology testing. We're also going to test for HPV strains 16 and 18, which are the most aggressive, which cause cervical cancer. We can also test for other STIs, such as herpes simplex type 1 and type 2, gonorrhea, chlamydia, and others.
Patients with an abnormal HPV and an abnormal cytology shall be referred to the colposcopy clinic. At that clinic, we shall assure that you get the proper treatment and guidance.
So come in and access this new service. Your health is our priority.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains, and illnesses? When there's help for you. At Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains, and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems, such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild, the power to heal, the future of pain relief.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM. The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Alright folks, the telephone lines are still open for your calls. 758-487-9849. That is the WhatsApp line number. You can WhatsApp call us, especially if you're overseas, and 4533-911, the studio direct landline number. Alright, I had the real issues. Good. Oh my goodness me, close back on me again. Woo. Hold on a second. I had to read some of the comments on the Facebook Live. Oh, Jaquan, sorry, I seem to have just messed up myself. I sent you a video clip, Jaquan. I don't know how long it will take you to download it. And it's about the opposition slamming the government's minimum wage rollout. So while I deal with some more of these messages on the Facebook Live, if you can just try, if you're able to download that video so we can play it a little later before we close for today, I'd greatly appreciate it. Hi caller, good afternoon, Real Issues.
Good afternoon, Shelton.
How are you doing?
Malar, man.
Ular.
Saudi, man.
Ular.
Ular.
Mem mania, mem komete mo.
Mo mete wo mania, man.
Mete mo lar.
Okay. Mais, Shelton, où ça n'a trouvé tout là? C'est parce que toutes ces policiers, dernier gouvernement mis en place, où ça c'est ça y va goumer contre ces joies? All of the policies that they enacted, that they put in place, that they were to benefit and did benefit and most likely are not benefiting from anymore, they are the ones that they were attacking.
They have a problem with Galaxy. They have a problem now. They even find the government is not giving enough for minimum wage. The kind of people who would always cry that what you're doing will cause businesses to shut down and let go people and so on. I tell them minimum wage.
Weren't they the ones who said that nice workers were 90% labor and so they had to go?
Exactly.
Was that not increasing unemployment?
But you know what's burning them? They have not been able to find any instance where they can say that the Philip J. Pierre administration is victimizing people because they are UWP supporters or suspected to be. They have not been able to find any case like that.
According to Lily X. Lackley, they can find nothing to make it stick. Everything that they're attacking, it's like shooting themselves in the foot. And then you have Honorable Chico wanting to take 5 people whom he has already named, and he said that there are 6 people that he plans to take to court again. Shelton, I can take the government to court on a Range Rover issue that was dismissed already.
So what happened? He's still control of customs. He can take people to court now.
He may not be controller, but he seemed to think he is the controller of something. But Shelton, how he have documents of government at his home, how he is accessible to such documentation and shamelessly and boldly sit on a television program and show those things, Shelton. You know, I think the man knows something that we don't know that he knows. I also think, Shelton, that the man knows that in the next 2 years he may not even be the candidate. I also believe that he believes that he will be the victim of the 7th Star General. So, Shelton, let them proceed sweetly. Let them proceed smartly with their foolishness, because that's what it is.
All right.
Nobody takes them seriously. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon as I proceed to funeral. Bye-bye.
All right. We'll talk again on the 30th of February, okay?
But, Shelton, that is election day.
Oh, it is? Okay, all right.
Yes.
Well, okay, we won't talk. We'll celebrate.
Yes, we will celebrate the 7th beating another victim. But let me tell you, no champagne. We ain't having no champagne. The champagne would be flat.
Okay, champagne has now become a forbidden or prohibited item.
It's now become vineyard juice. Now, bye-bye. Leave me alone.
Thank you very much. 487-984-90 on WhatsApp. Call us on that number. Bernard Haynes, what's up with you, my brother? I was trying to call you, couldn't get you. You called back. I missed the call, and I've not been able to make contact with you again. So maybe you are going to call today. And other people out in the diaspora, brother Anson Maxwell, how are you keeping as well? All right, we have another call on the line. Hey, good afternoon.
Man, I have some issues with you, you know.
Yeah, talk to me. Real issues?
Yeah, I have some issues with you, because I have lime in my fridge. I have sugar in the cupboard. Water is available. You ain't making no squash for me. Somebody else come and make this squash, and then you saying you had lime, sugar, and water. Add macaroni available.
Talk to
cheese
me.
in the fridge. Ketchup, everything.
Okay.
You ain't make macaroni and cheese. Somebody come make macaroni and cheese for me. You saying you would have made macaroni and cheese?
Yeah, you're finding all fault with it.
You find all fault with the macaroni and cheese, man,
Yeah.
when it was there. Man, what happened to that man, guys?
Miguel says nothing worse than when the dumbest believe they're Einstein.
You hear people talking about everything going up, but their salary not going up. You stay in office for almost 6 years. You never address that. You never take into consideration that people need a pay hike to be able to combat what's going on right now. Philip J. Pierre come and he addressed it. I know people that were getting 2 something and 3 something a fortnight. Can I mention names, Sheldon?
Talk to me.
SNS workers. The lowest of the lows. 2 something a fortnight, 3 something a fortnight. The minimum wage passed. And around the board, 1,001. Now you have a problem with that budget, Avish. I want to say to these 15,000 workers, those 15,000 workers who are going to benefit from the minimum wage, that they have to ensure that they defend the government. They have to make sure that those 15,000 workers, they vote for the St. Lucia Labour Party, because it is the St. Lucia Labour Party that takes their way of life from one level and bring it to an upper level. So they have to ensure that they reward the Labour Party by supporting them and by voting them to see whether or not they could take it to an upper level. Have a good one, my boy.
Thank you very much. Jaquan, if you have downloaded the video clip, let me know when you do, so we can. I know it takes time. You can't rush it. So just give me a little indication when you do. Okay, we'll continue. It's all right now. Okay. Well, let's go with that video clip, which is showing about the United Workers Party having some kind of misgiving or grievances, whatever, about the minimum wage.
For employees who were at the lower end of the income bracket in St. Lucia, their next paycheck should reflect the newly implemented minimum wage law. No employee will be paid less than $6.52 per hour or $52 daily, amounting to $1,130 monthly. However, the opposition United Workers Party has taken umbrage with the rollout.
I think that this government has lost it because the government has basically, I think, insulted the people of this country.
In the Eastern Caribbean, minimum wages vary by country. Antigua and Barbuda at $8.20 per hour. Grenada ranges from $4.50 to $9 per hour depending on the job, and Dominica's rates start at $4 per hour for household employees. In St. Vincent, domestic workers earn $5 per hour, while shop assistants make $7 per hour. St. Lucia's opposition leader has criticized the new minimum wage, calling it an insult to the people.
I'm even more insulted that the government said that this was a minimum living wage. Very different to a minimum wage. So what you're telling me that you can buy a house and a car, you can go on vacation, you can pay for your health care on $1,000 a month? Is that what you're saying to me? Because I have to imagine that that's what livable means. And the government continues to want to fool the people of St. Lucia with this unemployment.
It should be noted that a minimum wage sets the lowest amount an employee can earn without capping what employers can pay. Chasney has also criticized the approach used to calculate St. Lucia's unemployment rate, suggesting it may not accurately reflect the true extent of joblessness in the country.
You go around to St. Lucia, people tell you we have an unemployment problem. But yet the government says we have the lowest unemployment levels ever. Why? Because they changed the methodology of how you classify a person as being looking for a job. If after a certain number of weeks a person does not get a job, the state now says you're not looking for a job.
At its October 1st press conference, the opposition did not offer recommendations to address their concerns over the new minimum wage. For years, islanders have advocated for an across-the-board minimum wage. While progress was made with sector-based rates, the historic October 1st minimum wage in St. Lucia now guarantees that all employees earning less than EC $1,130 monthly have an opportunity to increase their income. The government of St. Lucia estimates that approximately 13,000 people are expected to benefit immediately from salary increases as a result of the new minimum wage.
All right, folks, because of the time, I'm not going to go in there with my own comments. All I can tell you, for a man to be lambasting a minimum wage based on whether it can provide you with a car, whether it can provide you with a house, whether it can provide you with an overseas travel, I mean, isn't that pitching the bar really, really high? When what you're saying for a minimum wage, that is the lowest. You're not saying that that is what they should be paid. That's all they should be paid. But that is the lowest that any employer should pay somebody so that they can have a chance of getting by, surviving in the country. You come in with all kind of thing about car, about house, all kinds of things. Anyway, I have Bernard Haynes on my phone, but I have a caller on the WhatsApp line. I'll take the call on the WhatsApp line. Hi, caller. Good afternoon. Real Issues.
Hey, good afternoon, Shelton. Carlton here.
Hey, what's happening, Doc?
I was listening to the leader of the opposition talk about the minimum wage. This is incredulous. I mean, the man just comes up with crap. As the clip said, the minimum wage is a flaw. It doesn't say what the actual wage should be. It says this is the lowest you could pay people. Employers are free to pay anything above that. And I think that is important. It does not say that they have to pay that. So, I mean, and it's not designed for people to travel, and that's not the consideration. You're talking about a livable wage. You know, can they meet the basics from that wage? And that's what you're looking at, you know? And it was arrived at after consultation with the Chamber of Commerce, the unions, and other interested parties. It wasn't something that the PJB administration came up on their own. And the other thing I wanted to talk about is he criticizes the method of unemployment, how they calculate it. That's standard. We don't have, the statistics department does not come up with its own method, because you have to be able to compare statistics across countries. So there's a universal way of calculating the unemployment rate. And of course, and to be defined as unemployed, you have to be looking for work within a specified period of time. So the guy lying on the block who hasn't looked for a job in 4 years is not considered unemployed. You have to, within a certain, I can't remember the, but X number of days, you have to have looked for a job. And that's standard all over the world. It's not something new that the government, and that's one of the limitations, you know, of the data. But it has it, but to suggest that the government is using tricks, no. And talking about, you know, I just think the man is out of his depths. You know, he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yes.
I just wanted to make that point, you know.
Thank you very much, Carlton. Nice hearing your voice. Nice hearing from you. It's been a while. Okay, I have a caller on the line, but I have Bernard Haynes who's been holding on for a bit. So, Bernard, are you there? Okay, hold on. I think I have. Yes, go ahead.
I've been doing what a lot of men are afraid of doing. That's why I've been so busy running around. I've been checking my doctor, doing my annual physical, making sure the heart is doing right, you know, the lungs is doing right, the colonoscopy is okay. You know, I've been doing a lot of the things that men supposed to be doing, you know, at that age.
Okay.
And they are afraid of doing.
And there's one of them there's one of them you don't need the doctor to tell you. Your wife will tell you if this one is okay. But go ahead. Don't answer. No reaction. Go ahead.
I don't answer in that, Shelton. I'm not answering that. I'm not answering that one. I've always, Shelton, let me tell you, this is the complacency I do not want our people to be falling trapped in. That thing of that city is safe, we don't need to campaign, we don't need to. I am praying to God that we do not fall complacency to that kind of behavior. If there is a time where we need to speak harder than before, campaign harder than before, go out into the community harder than before, it is now. You know, it is not a power ball we or power bush or core. People are using a lot of social media in this day and age to spread disinformation, misinformation, wrong information. And so you cannot be thinking, well, that city is safe, that city is safe and I don't have to campaign. You know, not in today's world. We have to go out and spread the message, spread the good news. I could have said my whole self good after seeing PJP or Prime Minister Philip JP on Sunday night and what he said. You know, I could have said we okay, we done, we don't have to. But this is that, after that message, I believe that the Prime Minister should go to Canada, to going to England, and all over St. Lucia spread that good news to let the people hear. You know, he who have an ear to hear, let him hear. Who have a mouth to speak, let him speak. You know, so that the people will receive the good news. And what I heard there on Sunday was nothing but all good news. You know, from the Prime Minister, and that we should never let that message get lost by just thinking, okay, election day, well boy, we safe. You see, because when people start thinking like that, they will start thinking on the day of elections, man, for the amount of things Labour do, we win already. I don't have to go and vote. No, don't do that. We don't have to do that, and we must never fall prey to that, because you call Christ the lion in a good sense, but there is a lion that is roaring around this place in Alan Shastney, seeking whom he may destroy. You know, this guy is looking anybody he can get to destroy St. Lucia. He will, you know. How comes I never heard Lisa say, let me interview the Prime Minister, let me interview Honorable Sean Edward, last night Linton from Dominica, loser again, was on her show. How they getting these people? How she getting these people? How people all of a sudden become good people to interview? Sheldon, let me tell you, let's not play with the enemy. Solutions, let's not give the enemy any chance. And when I say enemy, I don't mean St. Lucians are your enemy in that sense, you know. But the people who seek to destroy our country, the people who have that shagwe pouvoir, let us not play with them.
Okay.
Let us not go. The people who wants to come back and take revenge, let us not play with them.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much as well. All right. I think we have time to take a couple more calls, and one of them is on the line right now. Good afternoon, Real Issues.
Good afternoon, Mr. Shana. How are you?
I'm doing okay, and you?
Not too bad. It's a very good show. But let me tell you something. The government of St. Lucia under 650 is not appropriate for none of us to survive. Groceries is arm and leg in St. Lucia. How's it doing? The groceries is expensive. When you go to the supermarket shelf, it is not what you expect is what.
Yeah. The 650, they're not saying that's what they must pay you, eh? They're not saying that's what you must accept, eh? What they're saying is that this is the lowest you can give somebody. It doesn't mean that you must accept it or they must pay you that. Because before that, there was no minimum wage. People could have paid you $1 an hour, you know, $5 an hour. But now what they're saying is that by law, $6.50 is the lowest you can pay somebody. People need to understand that. They're misunderstanding that the government say that is what you must pay people. That's not true. The government is saying if you can pay or you are paying or the job value is to pay somebody $10, $20, $25, that is an arrangement between the employer and the employee. But there is a point where it does not become arrangement. It becomes law that the lowest you can pay somebody is $6.50 an hour. That's what it's saying. We have to make sure we understand that.
But people like SNS, people like the little thing, getting gas station, getting $2. You know,
Well,
hotels.
they will have to raise it from this month.
I work at Sender all my life. I work Rendezvous, Chevalier, I work thing. I'm telling you, today, the lowest payable people in the hotel, just steward in, little dishwashers, they get less than $3 an hour. That mind the people, you know, Mr. Shelton.
What's that?
Don't mind the people in the hotel is struggling and taking hot and cold. I take hot and cold. I work Chevalier, I work Disco, I work Rendezvous, I work Sandals. I'm telling you, steward in. I started as a dishwasher, I became a supervisor. Yes, I was going to grow my sharing business.
Are you saying there are hotels? Are you saying there are hotels that pay people less than the 1,100 and something a month?
Oh yeah, Sandal.
Okay.
Remember them?
Wow.
Rendezvous. Then Chevalier when he was there.
Okay.
People get nothing.
Well, they can't get nothing. They probably get a little or less or something. Nobody works for nothing. Eh? Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much. But the time has reached upon us. Okay. Yeah, Jaquan. Jaquan, leave that call alone. Yeah, leave that one alone. We have to sign out. Sorry about that, whoever is on the line. But it's 2 o'clock and you know the lotto comes in live and nothing we can do about that. So I don't like the abrupt ends. Thanks for a great week, everyone. Enjoy your long holiday weekend. We'll be back together again Tuesday. Until then, Shelton Daniel signing out.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
The winning numbers for the midday draw of Friday, 4th October 2024 were Double Daily Grand 1, 3, 7, 21. Big 4, 2, 1, 4, 6. Big 4 Multi-X 2X. Pick 2, 4, 6. Pick 2 Multi-X FP. 1 off 0, 4, 3. Lucky 3, 6, 2, 5. Lucky 3 Multi-X FP.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here.